Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really plunging into India's urban transformation. It's happening so fast.
It really is. Ambition, opportunity, but, huge challenges too.
Absolutely. A vibrant, almost chaotic mix. And we want to ask, is the path we're on actually building the future we need for our cities?
Yeah, that's the core mission today, I think. Are we focused on solid, sustainable growth? Or is it more about, well, the glitzy projects, the ones that look great on Instagram?
An Instagrammable city.
Exactly. We need to ask if bigger automatically means better here.
And for you listening, we're tackling some key things. Should we keep pouring money into huge Tier 1 cities? Or maybe spread the investment around to Tier 2, Tier 3 places? And who's actually, running these massive urban areas? It's complicated.
Yeah.
Plus, what even defines a city now? Is it just lines on a map or something more like an economic engine?
A living, breathing economic region, yeah.
Okay, let's dive in and start with this idea, the glitz trap. You know, those big headline projects that seem like progress?
But might just be papering over the cracks.
Exactly. Like, look at Karnataka's Greater Bengaluru Authority. That was May 15th, 2025. The chief minister chairs it, centralizing control, kind of bypassing the local BBMP.
Right, the local municipal corporation. It feels very top-down.
It does. Or Delhi mandating anti-smog guns for high-rises. It looks like action.
Does it tackle the root causes, like vehicle emissions or industrial pollution? Probably not, right?
Seems more performative, so why? Why are these big, shiny projects so appealing?
Well, politically, they're gold, aren't they? A new metro line, a massive tower that's visible progress.
Okay.
People see it, media covers it, it gets votes. It's much harder to get headlines for, say, upgrading sewage systems, even though that's critical.
That makes sense. Invisible infrastructure isn't sexy.
Not at all. And there's a real contradiction here, too. You had the Prime Minister back in May 2025 calling Tier 2 and 3 cities engines of sustainability and growth.
Right, with that huge 1 lakh crore urban challenge fund.
100 billion rupees. But then you see the Asian Development Bank planning $10 billion for urban development.
Where's it going?
Mostly metro extensions in the big Tier 1 cities. So it makes you wonder about the actual priorities versus the stated ones.
So this tendency towards glitz, it really feeds into the next big question. Where should we place our bets? Big versus small cities? Keep doubling down on Mumbai, Delhi? Or pivot more towards places like, say, Surat or Indore?
Well, the classic economic argument is for agglomeration economies. Big cities concentrate talent, business. They become these powerful hubs.
Like supercharged ecosystems.
Exactly. And India's numbers are, frankly, wild. We have more cities over 1 million people than the US, Europe, and Japan combined.
Wow.
But look closer. The districts around just the top 10 cities generate over 20% of the GDP.
While housing less than 10% of the population.
Right. So the benefits are super concentrated. But, size isn't the only factor. Think about global innovation hubs. Boston,
Right.
San Francisco.
But not megacities by population, are they?
Not even close. Under 1 million residents, often. But they punch way above their weight economically.
So investing in smaller cities could spread the opportunity and maybe ease the pressure on the megacities.
It absolutely could. Less pressure on infrastructure, potentially more balanced growth.
Okay, but then who runs these places? Whether big or small, the governance seems like, well, a mess.
That's putting it mildly. It's a tangle, isn't it?
Yeah.
State governments, local bodies, special purpose agencies.
Yeah, like that Greater Bengaluru Authority we mentioned.
Yeah.
It centralizes control, feels like a bit of a slap in the face to local democracy, really. Despite the 74th Amendment, the Nagarpalika Act.
Which was meant to empower urban local bodies.
Exactly. So what's the driver? Why the resistance to letting local bodies actually govern?
Well, follow the money, often. Urban land is incredibly valuable. It's a massive cash cow. And state governments, frankly, are often reluctant to give up control over that resource and the decisions around it.
Financial stakes are too high.
Very high. But here's maybe a more radical thought. What if we accepted that? Let chief ministers run the show in the capital cities, where the stakes are astronomical.
Okay.
But then you properly, fully empower the local bodies in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Places like Coimbatore or Bhopal. Let them innovate, compete.
Interesting. Create labs for urban governance, maybe?
Sort of, yeah. Unleash their potential without the same level of state interference, perhaps.
This whole governance thing, it also makes you question the boundaries, doesn't it? Which leads to redefining what a city even is.
Right. We think municipal limits, lines on a map.
But reality is much messier. Cities are sprawling economic regions now. Think about Surat's Growth Hub, the Niti Aayog initiative. It covers 5 districts.
Mm.
Or just look at Delhi. Functionally, economically, it totally includes Gurugram and Noida, even though they're technically separate, even in different states.
And that's the huge challenge, isn't it? When these real economic zones cross state lines.
Yeah, what happens then?
You need serious interstate cooperation, like proper coordination on planning, on services, public transport, waste management, you name it. We need new governance models for these larger regions.
It forces a total rethink.
Completely.
So bringing this all together, what does this mean for you listening, for India's urban path forward?
Well, it feels like we're really at a crossroads.
Yeah.
We can keep chasing the glitz, the big shiny project.
The glitz strap.
Or we can get serious. Empower local governance, especially in smaller cities. Invest in that foundational infrastructure. Start seeing cities as these integrated economic regions.
And maybe stop the performative stuff.
Yes. Kill the performative act. Focus on real systemic solutions, better public transport, smarter land use planning, things that actually improve quality of life.
Because at the end of the day, it's not really about the tallest building or the fastest metro, is it? It's about creating cities where people can actually live, work, breathe, and maybe not spend half their life stuck in traffic. So thinking about all this, what stands out to you as the single most critical step India needs to take right now for its urban future?